Annabelle, and my topic is words matter. Sorry. Okay, I'd like everyone to like out loud read what's on this little thingy over here, the tongue twister. Could we all read it? Okay, shut up. How did you? It wasn't supposed to be funny. It's just me saying shut up to you. I should have said it more rudely, But that's kind of where I'm getting at. The fact that I said shut up and not be quiet was where I was getting at. I was gonna ask, like, how did you feel when I said shut up and be all psychological and stuff? But
I thought it was funny.
You thought it was funny? That's what I'm saying. It was supposed to be funny, but some people would get offended by you saying shut up. I remember April got offended. I love you for that. Some people would get offended just by saying shut up, so there are better ways of just saying shut up. You could have said be quiet, or could you please be quiet? That's more polite, but just not to be offensive, you'd say be quiet. Here are a lot of synonyms for being rude or being assertive, to be bossy or be the boss. Being assertive is way better than being rude, of course, and some people confuse that. And so being assertive is being confident, being self-confident, being bold, being decisive, assured, self-assured, And being rude is being ill-mannered, being bad-mannered, being impolite and uncivil, etc. Being bossy, being domineering, being pushy, being overbearing, imperious, officious. And to be the boss is being the head, the chief, director, president, etc. Okay, so don't be bossy, be the boss. I have a personal experience when I was working in the kitchen my first year. The head over there, her name, I would leave out. So I wasn't working, it was lunch and I wasn't working there, but there was a girl who hadn't come to my economic class for 2 days, and I was worried about her. So I saw her in kitchen, and I go, hey, Rita, why didn't you come to class for 2 days? And she said, no, it's just depressing. I'm getting a C. I'm frustrated. I don't know if I should drop the class. And so I realized that I wasn't supposed to be in the kitchen chatting with her. That wasn't the right time to talk about that. So I told her to give me her number, and I'll contact her because I know Aham and Lam, and I always go to them in the evening to help me with my homework. So I told her that I know them and that she could come with me to go to them. So while I was taking her number, said lady, the boss, comes to me and she goes, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. Shoot, go. And I told her that I was calm, and I told her there are other ways of telling me to leave the kitchen than just treat me like trash. And I walked out. I felt bad for telling her that. And so I went back to her to try to talk to her about it. And she said, well, were you supposed to be at that place at the right time? I was like, I understand that part, but how you spoke to me was very rude. And I'm not from this country for you to think I would understand how you're talking to me was assertive and not rude. So she got offended, and one thing led to another. I spoke to Terry Pennington spoke to Richardson spoke to her, and she apologized to me, which was good. It's just how she approached the matter was a bit rude to me. She didn't think it was rude, but I thought it was rude. So I feel like at that moment, although she was the boss, her approach to me was more bossy than being the boss. Like I said before, using words like shut up might be very rude to some people, especially if you're not as informal to to them as you are to like your friends, especially if they're not too close to you. If you use the words like shut up, it's a bit rude. So try using words like be quiet or hush or just shh, you know? And instead of saying that was stupid, like this girl in my class who was like, I hate stupid people, and I'm like, no, you shouldn't say that because sometimes you're stupid yourself. So instead of using that, you could say that wasn't the best or that was not said correctly. Instead of calling someone dumb or foolish, you can use words like incorrect. Or my little sister, I don't know how, she was like 6 years old and started using the word dopey, and I was like, girl, where did you get this word from? And I had to look it up like 10 years later to find out that it was a nicer way of saying someone is dumb or foolish. You can say, you're being dopey. The way we say things, I think I said that earlier, that the way we communicate with each other is very important. And Dr. Lunkenheimer always says that. He goes, communication is so hard because sometimes he gives us homework, but then we're like, we didn't understand what you wanted us to do. And then he starts to hit the table. If you've been in his class, you know what I'm talking about. So especially living in such a diverse country as the USA, I would like all of you to know that communication is very important, and how you approach a matter or how you talk to someone, you should consider that because that is very, very important. There are ways of remaining calm. I know this girl who, when she's upset at the whole world. So you do not come near her or else she's gonna put her anger on you. And I've spoken to her about it, and I told her that you may be angry, but sometimes someone needs to talk to you. And so there are ways of remaining calm. If you don't want to talk to the person right now, you can just say, I do not want to talk right now. Or you could tell the person to give you some time. You breathe in and out. Or there's this thing I watched on TV where it says count 1 to 10 and you'll be fine. That doesn't really work, but it works for some people. They breathe in and breathe out, count 1, 2, 3 to 10, and they're a little bit calmer than they were before. Before you start to speak, you realize that instead of just talking out of anger or saying mean things, you'd, be nicer. It's best to know that life is not always rosy. Everyone's also going through lots of bad things, and so it's okay to get angry, but just watch how you talk to people when you're angry or not in a good situation. My conclusion for all this is, instead of being bossy or rude, it's best to be assertive. And don't confuse the two. Being assertive means you're being confident in talking, but being rude is, using offensive words or being ill-mannered. And you need to mind your words carefully, because whatever you say might be interpreted in a wrong way to someone else. Mind the way you use those words, because it could come back and bite you. Kadootie. Later on, the tush, thank you. And I have this little saying from E.M. Kelly, one of like the best public speakers. Anyway, I really like this quote, and it says, remember the difference between a boss and a leader. A boss says go, a leader says let's go. Thank you very much. Here on our website. You have a good day.